YouTube, we back, boys. Okay, and we got a new video right here we're going to react to. Okay, the NFL hates Joe Burrow. Okay, I don't know what this video is about. Okay, the NFL hates Joe Burrow. Now,
in the high-stakes world of NFL quarterbacks, few stories are as compelling or as puzzling as that of Joe Burrow. From a record-shattering college career culminating in a Heisman Trophy and national championship, to transforming the Cincinnati Bengals from perennial underachievers into Super Bowl contenders, Burrow's journey to NFL stardom has been nothing into Super Bowl contenders. Burrow's journey to NFL stardom has been nothing short of remarkable. Yet, despite his undeniable talent and leadership, he faces a level of scrutiny and skepticism that seems disproportionate to his achievements. While other NFL quarterbacks have faced their share of criticism, Tom Brady for his perceived favoritism from referees, Patrick Mahomes for what some view as league-backed preferential treatment, the narrative surrounding Burrow is distinctly different. He's never been positioned as the NFL's golden boy. Instead, he's consistently cast as an outsider, perpetually fighting to prove his worth in a league seems reluctant to fully embrace his stardom. Part of this dynamic stems from where Burrow plays. The Cincinnati Bengals lack the historical prestige of franchises like the Cowboys, Steelers, or Packers. Could overpick teams from New York or Los Angeles, or Bengals lack the historical prestige of franchises like the Cowboys, Steelers, or Packers. They don't command national headlines like teams from New York or Los Angeles. When Burrow arrived as the first overall pick in 2020, it's questioned whether even his considerable talents could overcome Cincinnati's long-standing organizational challenges. And even after he did exactly that, elevating the Bengals into legitimate championship contenders, success has been met with qualified praise rather than the full-throated acclaim afforded to his peers. Whether it's the media downplaying his achievements, relentless questioning of his status among the league's elite, or the NFL itself appearing to show bias, officiating, and league narratives, there's an undeniable sense that Joe Burrow isn't afforded the same respect as his fellow star quarterbacks. To understand why, we need to go back to where it all began.
so what? Like they don't like the dude because he plays for Cincinnati. So do they hate Joe or do they just hate the Bengals, bro? It don't make any sense, bro. Like, you know what? Let's just watch the video, bro.
Because if there's one thing Joe Burrow has done throughout his career, it's proving doubters wrong. Before we continue, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss what happens next. Joe Burrow's path to NFL stardom began far from the bright lights of professional football. Born in Ames, Iowa, raised in Athens, Ohio, Burrow grew up immersed in football culture. His father, Jimmy Burrow, was a longtime college football coach and former player, ensuring that football wasn't just a sport for young Joe, it was in his DNA. This early exposure to the game laid the foundation for his deep understanding of football's intricacies, though few could have predicted the heights he would eventually reach. At Athens High School, Burrow's talent began to shine in spectacular fashion. His numbers were nothing short of extraordinary, accumulating nearly 12,000 passing yards and 157 touchdowns, hitting nearly 12,000 passing yards and 157 touchdowns.
Yo, I know it's called is high school, but it's 12,000 in average in high school for the best QBs in the NFL. 12,000, okay, not 1,200, bro. 12,000. I know it's high school, but still, bro, yo, nah, those numbers are real, bro.
Over his high school career, he led his team 3 straight playoff appearances and a state championship game, earning recognition as the Gatorade Player of the Year in Ohio. Yet, despite these eye-popping statistics and accolades, the response from major college programs was surprisingly lukewarm. Unlike other top quarterback prospects who typically field numerous scholarship offers from powerhouse schools, Burrow found himself largely over.
Yo, bro, so they didn't want him. Okay, so bro has been like getting shadow banned since like he was in high school. Okay, this is gonna be a hard one.
looked. Ohio State, the team he had grown up idolizing, did extend an offer, but it felt more like an afterthought than a priority recruitment. The lack of attention wasn't just surprising, it was a pattern that would follow Burrow throughout his early career. Scouts questioned his arm strength and elite athleticism, concerns that would resurface years later during his NFL evaluation. Burrow chose Ohio State, knowing he would have to fight for playing time. What followed was a test of his resilience. Stuck behind JT Barrett on the depth chart, he spent 2 seasons as a backup, waiting for his opportunity. When Barrett finally departed for the NFL, it seemed Burrow's moment had arrived. However, coaching staff had other plans, choosing to hand the starting role to Dwayne Haskins.
Bro, I'll be pissed off, bro. Like I'm not like sitting on the bench for 2 years thinking I'm gonna get my chance, and then you're gonna give it to somebody else when I'm QP2, bro. I'm QP2 and yo. Nah, bro, like, yeah, bro. Yeah, he had to go. He had to leave that team, bro. He had to leave that team at that point.
The message was clear. Burrow wasn't in Ohio State's long-term plans.
So Dwayne was the year after me. I was class of 2015. He was class of 2016. So he was the quarterback that came in right after me.
So you had
Rather than accept a backup role, Burrow made the pivotal decision to enter the transfer portal. His search led him to LSU, a program known more for producing elite defensive talent than developing quarterbacks. It wasn't the obvious choice, but for Burrow, it was the perfect opportunity. His first season in Baton Rouge was solid but unspectacular, showing flashes of brilliance without generating serious NFL buzz. Then came 2019.
Wait. He spent 2 years in Ohio, right? And then he spent another his third year as a QB in college. So why did he go for 4 years, bro? That means so he played 4 years in college.
A season that would rewrite college football record books. Under the guidance of offensive coordinator Joe Brady.
Oh man, so it was really that hard for him, bro. Like like nobody really wanted him, bro. Like bro had to play for 4 years just to prove his worth before going to. Damn, bro. They're really hating on bro for no reason.
Burrow orchestrated what many consider the greatest season by a quarterback in college football history. The numbers were staggering: 5,771 passing yards and 60 touchdowns, leading LSU to an undefeated season and a national championship. Against elite defenses, Burrow made the impossible look routine, displaying a level of confidence.
Okay, so he's an LSU legend. He's a motherfucking LSU legend, bro. Like the NFL can hate on him, but college football acknowledges him.
Confidence and poise that would become his trademark. His Heisman Trophy victory was a landslide, cementing his status as the top prospect in the 2020 NFL Draft. Yet, even as he dominated college football, the doubters persisted. Some scouts labeled him a one-year wonder, while others suggested his success was more about LSU's talent. Even as he dominated college football, the doubters persisted. Some scouts labeled him a one-year wonder, while others suggested his success was more about LSU's talented supporting.
Bro, like where is all this hate coming from, bro? Like did bro do something in his previous life or something? No, nah, bro. This is like a generational curse for him, bro. Like he's been cursed, bro. What?
Cast than his own abilities. The narrative of doubt that had followed him since high school remained stubbornly intact, setting the stage for the next chapter of his career. When the Cincinnati Bengals selected Joe Burrow with the first overall pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the reaction from analysts and media was tellingly mixed. While Burrow was universally acknowledged as the draft's top prospect, concerns swirled about the franchise he was joining. The Bengals were coming off a dismal 2-14 season and carried a reputation for organization. The Bengals were coming off a dismal 2-14 season.
2-4. Yo. I think they like the only team that ever did worse was the 2012 Titans, right? I think they were like 0-16 or something. I think it was the Titans before them. Damn.
Season and carried a reputation for organizational dysfunction. More troublingly, they hadn't won a playoff game in decades. Many analysts openly questioned whether Burrow's talents would be squandered in Cincinnati, predicting that he would become another casualty of the franchise's long-standing struggles. Burrow, however, approached the challenge with characteristic composure. From his first day in Cincinnati, he spoke about changing the team's culture and transforming the Bengals into winners. More importantly, he backed up those words with his play. Despite being thrust into action behind a subpar offensive line and working with limited weapons, Burrow immediately showed the poise and decision-making that had made him a collegiate star. His ability to make quick reads and deliver accurate throws under pressure marked him as a genuine franchise quarterback. But his rookie campaign would face a devastating setback. In Week 11 against Washington, Burrow suffered a catastrophic knee injury, tearing both.
Yeah, I know. I know the critics had a field day, bro. I know they ate that day, bro. I know the critics were really happy when this happened. They had a whole article ready to be posted the next morning, I'm sure.
His ACL and MCL. The injury wasn't just a personal blow to Burrow. It sent shockwaves through the entire Bengals organization. Questions immediately arose about whether he would ever regain his form. With
Bro, after one injury and they already saying it's over, bro, where did this hate come from, bro? Like, bro, where's all this hate coming from, for real, bro? Like this dude just got up and started hating. It's like somebody, it's a whole organization just say that point in the piece say we want to hate on this dude, and the whole media, everything was just hating on him, bro.
some analysts suggesting the injury might permanently compromise his mobility, a crucial element of his game. What followed was a testament to Burrow's resilience. He attacked his rehabilitation with the same intensity and focus that had defined his rise to stardom. While others questioned his future, Burrow remained laser-focused on his recovery, determined to return stronger than ever. His dedication during this period would prove crucial to what came next. The 2021 season marked one of the most remarkable comebacks in recent NFL history. Not only did Burrow return to the field, but he elevated his game to new heights. His numbers told part of the story: over 4,600 yards passing and 34 touchdowns. But it was his impact on the Bengals culture that proved transformative. Under his leadership, Cincinnati captured the AFC North title and, more significantly, secured their first playoff victory in over 3 decades. What followed was an improbable run to the Super Bowl, with Burrow delivering clutch.
So they hated him after that too. They're gonna still hate on him after these two, bro. I don't know what excuse they're gonna make. They're gonna be like, nah, the other teams were not on timing. Like, I'm ready to hear how they're gonna hate on this one, bro. How you gonna hate on this achievement right here?
Performances in the biggest moments. He outdueled top quarterbacks in hostile environments, showing the same confidence and poise that had characterized his LSU career. The Bengals' advancement to the Super Bowl in just Burrow's second season and first full season as starter was a remarkable achievement that should have silenced any remaining doubters. Yet, strangely, the skepticism persisted. Instead of celebrating Burrow's incredible comeback and leadership in transforming a struggling franchise, many analysts began nitpicking his game. They pointed to his high sack numbers, suggesting he held onto the ball too long. They questioned whether his style of play was sustainable, focusing on his willingness to take hits rather than his exceptional decision-making and accuracy. Even as he led one of the most remarkable turnarounds in NFL history, the goalposts for criticism seemed to constantly shift.
You know, criticism about my game, that hurts sometimes.
The Super Bowl matchup against the Los Angeles Rams brought this dynamic into sharp focus. Despite Burrow playing well, the Bengals fell short in a close game where they were clearly outmatched in the trenches. Rather than recognizing the achievement of reaching the Super Bowl so early in his career, critics seized on the loss, suggesting that Burrow so early in his...
This dude was playing Stafford, bro. The same player that was playing for the Titans for like 6 seasons without reaching like the Super Bowl, and this dude did in his second season after a career-ending injury, bro, and he survived that too, and they still now come on, bro. This forced is hate. This hate, bro, is forced. Okay, I don't know why I just said right there, bro. I'm like, I can't even like get my words straight right now. I'm fuming, bro. Like this hate is forced, bro.
his career, critics seized on the loss, suggesting that Burrow couldn't win the big one, conveniently ignoring the multiple big games he'd already won to reach that stage. For those paying attention, however, it was clear that this was just the beginning. Burrow had taken a franchise from the NFL's basement to the Super Bowl in just 2 years, displaying a combination of talent, toughness, and unshakable confidence that marked him as special. The narrative of doubt that followed him since high school might not have disappeared, but Burrow had proven once again that he thrived in the face of skepticism. Joe Burrow's meteoric rise in the NFL wasn't just about statistics or wins. It was about the way he carried himself through both triumph and adversity. In just his second full season, he had already established himself as one of the league's premier quarterbacks, outdueling Patrick Mahomes in key matchups and cementing the Bengals' status as legitimate contenders. But even as his on-field excellence became undeniable, Burrow faced a level of scrutiny that seemed disproportionate to his success. The 2022 season provided perfect examples of both Burrow's brilliance and the unusual standards to which he was held. He led the Bengals to another deep playoff run, culminating in a second straight AFC Championship appearance. Along the way, he showcased his ability to perform in the biggest moments, notably dismantling the Buffalo Bills in the divisional round with a masterful performance that should have silenced any remaining doubters. And yet, the conversation around Burrow remains strangely muted compared to his peers. While quarterbacks like Josh Allen received praise for their aggressive play style despite high turnover rates, and Justin Herbert garnered media attention despite lacking playoff success, Burrow's achievements were often accompanied by caveats. His efficiency and decision-making, rather than being celebrated as strengths, were sometimes framed as limitations. The narrative seemed to constantly shift to find new ways to question his stats.
How, bro? Like, how do y'all keep on hating on somebody this bad, bro? Like, who's paying y'all, bro? Like, nah, bro. Like, there's some real haters out here, bro. Like, I thought Kendrick Lamar was a hater, but nah, bro. There's some real haters in the NFL, bro.
Status among the league's elite. Perhaps nowhere was this double standard more evident than in how officials treated Burrow on the field. Throughout his career, he consistently ranked among the most sacked quarterbacks in the NFL, absorbing punishing hits with remarkable frequency. Yet, roughing the passer calls in his favor were notably rare. The contrast became particularly glaring when compared to how other star quarterbacks were protected. While players like Mahomes routinely drew flags for questionable contact, Burrow would endure clearly late hits without drawing penalties. The 2022 AFC Championship game against Kansas City brought these officiating disparities into sharp focus. The game was marked by several controversial calls that seemed to favor the Chiefs, including a crucial late-game sequence that significantly impacted the outcome. This wasn't just hometown fans seeing bias. Neutral observers and analysts noted the inconsistency in how the two quarterbacks were officiated that night. The scrutiny intensified in 2023, particularly around Burrow's various injuries. Early in the season, he played through a persistent calf injury, showing the same toughness and determination that had characterized his recovery from the knee injury in his rookie year. However, while other quarterbacks were celebrated for playing through pain, the narrative around Burrow focused more on questioning his durability. The situation came
Yeah, bro, I'm disgusted, bro. This don't make any sense, bro. Like, bro, they hate him and they didn't hide it, bro. Like, they didn't even try to hide that, bro. We do not like you, bro. Like, maybe like, bro, what do you want him to do? Just give up and now, come on, bro. It don't even make any sense at this point.
Came to a head when his season was cut short by a wrist injury. The NFL's response to this injury highlighted the unique scrutiny Burrow faced. Within hours of a video surfacing showing him wearing a wrist brace before a Thursday night football game against Baltimore, the league launched an investigation into the Bengals' injury reporting practices. The team was ultimately fined for failing to properly disclose the injury, a stark contrast to how similar situations with other quarterbacks had been handled in the past. Through it all, Burrow maintained his characteristic poise. He didn't complain about the officiating or make excuses for setbacks. His response to adversity remained consistent. Let his play do the talking. This approach had served him well throughout his career, from his days as an overlooked recruit to his emergence as one of the NFL's best quarterbacks. But But it also highlighted a fascinating paradox. The more Burrow proved himself on the field, the more some seemed determined to find reasons to doubt him. The relationship between Joe Burrow and NFL officiating has been a contentious topic throughout his career, and the evidence suggests it's more than just partisan fan complaints. The disparity in how Burrow is treated compared to his peers presents a pattern that's difficult to ignore, particularly when examining specific games and statistics. Since entering the league, Burrow has consistently ranked among the most sacked quarterbacks in the NFL. While some of this
now that's like the Bengals' fault, bro. Like that's the team's fault, bro. Like bro, Burrow cannot control when he like getting sacked, bro. Like that's not his fault. Okay, like maybe he holds on to the ball for too long, but it's his defense, like his whole offensive line's team, to make sure they give him the time he needs, bro.
Can be attributed to Cincinnati's early offensive line struggles. The more telling story lies in how contact with Burrow is officiated. Other quarterbacks who face similar pressure, notably Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen, draw roughing the passer penalties at a significantly higher rate.
This makes sense, bro. Like the 2024 Super Bowl final, right? Mahomes was getting sacked, bro. I didn't see any reports talking about how Mahomes was getting sacked and all that, bro. Okay, but every time Joe Burrow gets sacked, bro, it's a whole field day with the media, bro. They're having a whole day about writing how bad he is for some reason.
Personal foul, roughing the passer.
Burrow, despite absorbing punishing hits week after week, rarely sees flags thrown in his protection. The 2022 AFC Championship game against the Chiefs became a flashpoint for these officiating concerns. Multiple questionable calls benefited Kansas City at crucial moments, but it was the disparity in quarterback protection that stood out most starkly. A particularly telling sequence occurred when Burrow took a late hit from Chris Jones, driving him into the turf, the type of contact that had drawn flags consistently throughout the season. When it happened to other quarterbacks, no penalty was called. Shortly after, Mahomes received a 15-yard penalty for a relatively light shove as he ran out of bounds, a call that put the Chiefs in field goal range and ultimately helped decide the game. The media's treatment of Burrow presents another layer of controversy. While his peers often receive the benefit of the doubt, Burrow's performances are frequently subjected to heightened scrutiny. Take Josh Allen, for instance. His turnover issues are often dismissed as a natural consequence of his aggressive playing style. Yet when Burrow plays conservatively to protect the ball, it's framed as a limitation. This double standard extends to how injuries are covered as well. When Mahomes plays through physical challenges, he's celebrated for his toughness. When Burrow does the same, questions arise about his durability and long-term reliability. The 2023 season brought these issues into even sharper focus, particularly during the wrist injury controversy, when a video emerged showing Burrow wearing a wrist brace before a Thursday night football game against Baltimore.
Hey, bro, are we watching the same thing again? Why does it feel like this thing is looping now, bro? I feel like this part is looping again. This is the exact part, bro.
The NFL's response was swift and severe. The league launched an immediate investigation into the Bengals' injury. Reports were handled with other teams' playoffs without any comparable scrutiny of the Chiefs' injury reporting protocols. Bengals head coach Zach Taylor addressed these disparities diplomatically but pointedly during the 2023 season. After a game against the Buffalo Bills where Burrow absorbed multiple late hits without drawing flags, while similar contact against Josh Allen resulted in immediate penalties, Taylor simply stated, "We just want consistency. That's all we're asking for." It was a measured response to what had become an unmistakable.
So, bro, like, do they hate Joe or do they hate the Bengals? I'm still asking that question, bro. Is the problem Joe or is the problem the team he's playing for, bro?
Pattern. And even in
like they find the whole team for all that risk injury thing. So is it because they hate the Bengals because they know the big team, or is it because this Joe is just on a generational curse, bro? Like there's like a witch somewhere that cursed, bro. Like he gotta find that witch, like or something, bro.
Regular season games, the inconsistency remained glaring. The officiating disparities weren't just about protecting the quarterback. They extended to crucial moments that often influenced game outcomes. The Bengals found themselves on the wrong end of questionable calls with unusual.
Do you all think like some players are protected, bro? Like the QPs. Do you all think like QPs are protected? I know QPs are supposed to be protected. You can't. But do you think like there's some QPs that are more favored than some other QPs, or is it because it just happens, bro?
Frequency, particularly in high-stakes situations against marquee opponents. These controversies extend beyond the field and into how Burrow is marketed and covered by the league's media machine. Despite leading the Bengals to multiple deep playoff runs and consistently performing at an elite level, Burrow is often left out of conversations about the NFL's best quarterbacks. The media seems more eager to promote quarterbacks like Justin Herbert, who has yet to achieve significant playoff success, or to frame the AFC as a battle primarily between Mahomes and Allen, despite Burrow's proven track record against both. As the 2024 season approaches, Joe Burrow once again finds himself in familiar territory, facing questions and doubts after his 2023 campaign was cut short by a wrist injury. Yet before that setback, he had been showcasing exactly why he belongs among the NFL's elite, demonstrating the same poise and leadership that transformed the Bengals from perennial underachievers into consistent contenders. The impact of Burrow's absence in 2023 only served to highlight his importance to Cincinnati.
Worst part, bro, like one day, like he's gonna say he's retiring, right? And they're gonna come up acting like no, they loved him, bro. They're gonna come up acting like no, they cared for him, bro. Like they fake, bro. And I hope he knows, okay? I hope somebody shows Joe Burrow this video, bro. Like they all fake, bro. Like they one day you're gonna be like he's retiring, and they're gonna all come up for interviews. Say, oh my God, you play, bro? Nah, bro. They all fake, bro.
Before his injury during that crucial Thursday night football game against Baltimore, he had been steering the Bengals through their typical early season challenges. Even playing through a lingering calf injury early in the season, Burrow displayed the resilience and determination that have become his hallmarks. His legacy in Cincinnati is already secure. In just a few short years, he's accomplished what seemed impossible, leading the Bengals to a Super Bowl appearance, multiple AFC championship games, and transforming the franchise's culture from top to bottom. The numbers tell part of the story. 2 AFC championship appearances, a Super Bowl berth, and consistently elite production when healthy. But Burrow's impact goes beyond statistics. He's changed expectations in Cincinnati, instilling a winning mentality in a franchise that had long been associated with failure. As he prepares for his return, the familiar pattern of doubt has already begun to emerge. Questions about his durability compete with speculation about whether he can regain his pre-injury form. But if Burrow's career has taught us anything, it's that he thrives when others doubt him. From his transfer from Ohio State to his comeback from the rookie year knee injury, he's consistently proven that setbacks only fuel his determination. The Bengals' investment in Burrow through his contract extension demonstrates their complete faith in his abilities, regardless of the injuries he's faced. Unlike other quarterbacks who might have wilted under the constant scrutiny and physical challenges, Burrow has remained steadfast in his approach, letting his play on the field answer any questions about his abilities. Looking ahead, the question isn't whether Burrow has the talent to compete with the NFL's best. He's already proven that conclusively. The real question is, when he inevitably proves the doubters wrong once more, will the NFL finally give him the respect he's earned?
No, I'm gonna be honest, bro. Okay, this video is already over, right? He don't need it, bro. Okay, he got to this point without needing them, bro. Like he don't need, like, if this dude gets to the Super Bowl and wins it, bro, like we're calling out all the fake motherfuckers, bro. I'm sorry for cussing, okay? Like, we calling out all the fake people. We like, bro, we're going back to when he got drafted, picking up all those articles, all those shows they talked about him not going to make it, bro. We're bringing it all back, bro. We're bringing all the fake shit they did, okay, to him, bro. We're not accepting any fake love in the future, bro. Like, no, bro, I don't care what they say, bro. Burrow gonna be that one QP that nobody
Or will
can
they
stop,
simply...
Okay, that's just it. He's gonna be that one QP nobody can control, and maybe that's why they hate him, bro. Okay. Anyway, y'all, this video is already over, so I hope you really like this video. I don't know. Okay, comment what you think about this whole video, bro. Do you think like the NFL hates Joe Burrow, or no? Is there something else we don't know, bro? I don't know what y'all think, so just leave your whatever you think, your opinions in the comments, okay? Anyway, I hope you really like this video, okay? So if you do, please don't forget to subscribe and leave a like, okay? I'ma see you all next time.